I built an AI sales agent that personalizes outreach, extracts information, automatically books appointments to your calendar, and infinitely follows up. This video is part of the one-man AI business and helping you go from 0 to 100K per month selling AI infrastructures. And specifically, we're going to focus on the setter infrastructure, which comprises an AI sales agent, AI follow-up, email, SMS, personalization, and all that good stuff that happens in your CRM. In this video, you're going to learn how to call leads, how to get personalization details, and craft emails and SMS follow-ups infinitely with AI. I was sick of paying for overpriced funnels and workflows and overpriced CRMs. Those CRMs didn't actually help me get more clients. So I did some simple YouTube research and saw an expert who was using Airtable for his CRM, and it was absolutely free. I really like Notion, so I decided to build mine in Notion. When I first got started with Notion, I didn't understand databases or properties or data tables or anything like that. But after I've used it for the last 2 to 3 years, I've gotten really comfortable with it. And I think it's an amazing tool for day-to-day productivity. So I took the CRM concept and I rebuilt it in a Notion data table. I combined it with no-code automation tools like N8N to create a completely AI automated CRM in Notion that works together with this workflow that we're going to talk about here. With N8N AI automations, I can get similar functionality in a free Notion CRM that you would get in any of the big players' CRMs. I actually first got into Notion when I bought this mental models course, and it was talking about how he took all of his work and put it on Notion because Notion has this share feature where you can create websites from your published work. So I can actually share my CRM and link it to my teammates, and I can publish my CRM as a website to my teammates or anybody I want to share it with. And this plays into the AI infrastructure one-click install, where we're able to pass on these infrastructures to our clients with pre-built automations and one-click installs. I came across this AI caller software called Synthflow after I bought a different course, and I was learning about the best AI voice calling agents for AI infrastructures. And it's the easiest to use that I've seen, and so we're going to integrate that in our workflow. Here we have an HTTP request to Synthflow, which is an AI caller, and then we have another HTTP request, which is downloading the transcription and file and call details. I got inspired to build this workflow with Notion after seeing another expert and another creator build the same functionality in an Airtable CRM, and I just really like Notion. I wanted to recreate this with Notion. That same creator was using transcripts to extract information about the calls and from the clients, getting the client's goals, questions, and objections, and personalizing email follow-up and SMS follow-up in the back end, which I thought was really interesting, and we're including that functionality in this CRM as well. So a quick overview of this system. We're starting with a Notion trigger, and so every time a new lead moves statuses in Notion, this automation is going to be triggered. And so if I move George from triage to new, he's going to get a brand new call. This is going to trigger the Notion trigger, and we're using a switch node with all the different tags categories within Notion properties. So these leads are getting tagged, and so the AI automation is getting triggered off of all of these tags. And so if I move George over to triage, the AI automation triage tag is going to fire. And so now I have full customization over my workflow. The first step is when somebody comes into new, which is what this loop looks like, the 0, a new lead gets called by Synthflow. And then there's a wait node to let that call complete before we request the transcription and the call details. And then we put those call details into OpenAI to summarize the call and we update our database with the call summary. We also classify the transcription and the summary of the call and determine whether or not the lead is qualified, unqualified, or other, and we can add more categories to this. And then it updates the lead in Notion. And then it moves them into the next step. And then the next step would be to actually extract the information from the transcript and from the call summary to get the clients or the leads objections, FAQs, dream outcome, goals, and things that are stopping them from moving forward, so that we can craft personalized emails that will go out and completely personalize the email follow-up and automation sequences that are going out based on the information. And we have full control over what steps and what automations are going to our leads, and we can trigger any automation in any sequence. Let's say we want to send another email, we just move the buckets that our leads in, and we do this obviously manually. And this gives us a solid understanding of all the automations that are going on in the back end of our business. Full JSON code for this build is located in the Discord community. Just click the link in the bio to join the Discord, and you scroll into HVT and scroll down to premium coaching. And this is behind a paywall, and the price is $67 per month. And you just click into blueprints, and you can go ahead and get the downloads and the workflows and the automations for all of these different builds. And this one is going to be plugged in when you get in. We're also going to be putting this in the One Man AI Business Playbook, which you can download here. The link is in the description. And this playbook has AI systems building and automations, and we're constantly updating this playbook with our new builds, and you can get that absolutely for free. It's my gift to you today. Just enter your first name, email, and your best phone number, because we'll send you links to Zoom calls and other resources as you come in. And so if you don't want to go through all the details and you just want the build and you want to implement it now, just jump into blueprints in HVT AI, come down here and click to download JSON from this file right here. And this will load up, and then come back into your N8N account and hit these three dots and say import from file, and then just select that JSON file, and all these nodes will be loaded up, and you'll just have to configure your credentials. All right, so let's get into this build. This is the example that I'm going to use. Pulling from, first of all, a Notion trigger. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to this plus button and search for Notion and pull in Notion. And then go down to triggers and select on page updated in database. And this is going to be your actual trigger. And then to set up this trigger and integrate with Notion, you're going to go create a new credential and go get your integration secret from Notion. Now, the way you do that is when we're in Notion and we're connecting a new page or a new CRM, we'll hit create a new page and we'll title it CRM, and then hit /table, and then go to table view, click table view database, and then name your database your CRM. Then what we're going to do is go to properties. We're going to add a new property and hit the select button, and we're going to add options. So we're going to say new lead, active, triage, follow up, one, and lost. And we're also going to we can also do our email list in here as well. These will be the properties. And so now when we go up here and we hit layout and we go with a board view, we will have all of our categories laid out like this. And this is how you set up your CRM. And then to integrate it with N8N, click the three dots in the top right hand corner, go down to connections, hit manage connections, and then scroll down to developer manage integrations. Come into your Notion integrations page like this, and we're going to set up a new integration. Hit new integration, name your integration, demo CRM, associate workspace, put your workspace, and save. So now that's integrated, and now I have my integration secret, and I'm just going to copy that, make sure that these capabilities are connected, and then just paste your integration secret in here and hit save. And now your Notion account is going to be connected successfully. And then there's one more step you need to do to make sure that this works correctly, or else you're not going to be able to get the right database. the next thing you have to do is go into your CRM and hit connections and then search for that demo that you just created. And so that's why I like to put those pictures, is because the picture will come up and I'll be able to identify my demo. Let me just refresh this so that it pops up. Here we go. Now click into connections and search for your demo. Here's the demo CRM, and make sure that you connect and have access to all the child pages. Confirm. Let's add in just a quick demo lead. We'll call it Hank. And then when we go back to connect it in N8N, sometimes it takes a second for it to refresh. There it is, CRM demo. Now what this is going to do is, it's every single time that a new update is in this database, it's going to pull every minute. And so we can fetch our test event and it's going to pull in Hank. So now Hank is in our database. So now you're all connected. So let's move into the next step. The next step here is the switch node. So we're going to go and hit this plus button to add in a switch node. Just type in switch. Is going to look at the select properties. It's going to look at this property here. Basically, every time that we're going to create different routes. And so if this route is in the active email list or follow-up, then those are the routes it's going to take. So we'll just call this active, create one for active, and then we'll create another route so we'll do email list and make sure that that's routed correctly. Just drag the select property in and put follow-up and add in all the properties that we put in. So lost, new lead, triage, and one. Lost, new lead, triage, one. And then map the select property into each of those categories, each of those routes, and then hit test step. And it'll have the output in active, and you can see that it is in fact inactive. And so if I change him to email list and I rerun this automation, we're going to see that he is now in the active branch. And if we move him to the follow-up branch, we're going to see in this automation that when it pulls the new update, that triggered a new update because we moved him, and he's going to be in the next branch, which is the follow-up branch. And if we move him to lost, he's going to, similarly, we update this and he's going to move into the third branch. And there it is, the third branch. And so what this is the general structure which allows you to integrate your CRM into N8N and basically do any workflow, any automation you want for any of your sales buckets. For active leads, you can have, active campaigns, active automations. For your email list, you can have your email list automations. For your follow-up, you can have your SMS and email automations. For lost leads, you can have your infinite follow-up to try to save those leads. For your new leads, you'll have your AI setter, your AI sales agent call, which we're going to get to in the next step. For triage, the same thing. We're going to take a look at what are the problems that our leads are having and what solutions can we offer, what are our goals and objections, FAQs. If we won the deal, we can have our onboarding automations. And so this CRM is really simple, and it gives you complete functionality over the automations and the AI agents and the tasks that are running at each stage. All right, so now that we have our Notion CRM connected to our switch nodes, now we can start doing automations. And so I want it to pull in Hank. I want an AI sales agent to call my lead as soon as it comes in, within the first couple seconds, by using SynthFlow, which is effortless human-like AI phone calls. So I'm going to do an HTTP request. I already filled out this HTTP request up here. I'm going to use this HTTP request. And you guys, when you go in to the Discord and you grab the blueprint, the JSON, the snapshot, and import it, this request will already be filled out. So I already filled that all out. This is the URL that you're going to send a post to. Make sure you send this to post and not get. So the auth is a simple bearer auth. You just need an auth token. Set this up. I want you to go into synthflow.ai and just go ahead and log in or create an account and get a free trial. And then you'll be brought here to the home page in SynthFlow. And we're going to have to fill out some of these things, especially getting you a phone number. Cool thing is, though, you do get a free trial. So the way you get your API key is in SynthFlow. Go down to integrations and then hit the REST API button and then say generate a new key. As soon as you generate it, you'll just copy it and paste it in. Hit the button to send body and select JSON from the drop down menu and get the model ID. When you go up to your assistants, you click into one of your assistants. There's going to be an ID here. And this is where you copy the model ID and you paste it in here. Then the phone number is going to be obviously Hank's phone number. And notice Hank never had a phone number. So we're going to have to go in and give him a phone number property. So I'm just going to click add property and scroll down to phone number. Paste that in, and I'll give him a testing phone number, or just type in your phone number here. And this is where the phone number goes. This is where the name go in. In this case, we're just going to drag in the name of our prospect. If your prospect has an email, you're going to want to drag that in so that your agent can actually set that person's email on your calendar. And so we're going to have to go back in the CRM and create another property here, which is email address, and make sure that's there. That is all set up. So that's going to be sending to SynthFlow, to our assistant, who we can configure with, the voice engine, the model, the time zone, its knowledge base, and then we can set up the prompt here. And this is going to be important. We're going to go over this in the next section. The big thing you're going to want to get is a phone number. So click this button to add a new phone number. Either purchase a number, or I believe you can get a free phone number with your free trial. So once that's done, when you go into assistants, hit create an assistant, and then you can use presets. I would just start from scratch, and he's going to make outbound calls. And so hit outbound, and then now we can set up our new agent. So these are the models that you can use. Use SynthFlow's AI model, GPT-4o, and GPT-4o mini. And we're going to set this up in the next section. All right, so just to recap, at this point in the video, we have our foundation set. We have our CRM built for free in Notion with all of our properties, all of our sales buckets that we're going to drop leads into. And by the way, you can integrate this CRM with any of your forms, any of your type forms, any of your jot forms, any of your funnels, landing pages, lead forms. It can all come into this CRM. So don't worry about that. That's not a problem. And we have our update in database trigger. So any update in our CRM is going to trigger this switch node. And we have full customability on our sales buckets, on our CRM, the buckets in our CRM. And so we can create any customization. And this is really the foundation. And this is how you can integrate this into any niche, any business. And this will work across the board. It's really just the fundamentals. And similarly, sending a call and having an AI call and set an appointment and qualify a lead is also a fundamental, because of what we're going to go through in this section, which is prompt engineering, training the AI sales agent on your knowledge base, or giving it a prompt so that it can speak confidently about your business. It's fully customizable to any business, to any product, and to any service. The only thing that we're going to need to add, obviously, is to our test lead, which I believe our test lead his name is Hank. Right, so now we are pulling in Hank. So the thing that we're going to have to do is give Hank a phone number that it can actually call. Now when I pull this new update in and I run this, it's going to have a phone number field. And this is the field that I'm going to pull in to the phone number form. So let's pull that in. And just to confirm that it's going to call us, I'm just going to hit test step. Okay, I had a little character in there that was messing up the authorization header per the error, so I fixed that error. And cool. So now I have a call coming in, and you can see that the AI is calling me. I'll just answer real quick. Hello, this is Jeff.
Hi, Jeff. I'm Madison. How's it going?
Good. I'll hang up so I don't want to waste testing minutes. So that's testing perfectly. That's doing well. So now what we want to do is jump into SynthFlow and configure our agent. And so again, go to your assistants tab. And if you haven't created an assistant, create a new one. I have one here that I'm going to be working on because it already has a phone number set up. And again, that's the main thing that you'll have to figure out, is to set up your phone number. I want to configure my agent. So I just gave him my name because he's going to be calling on my behalf. Gave him a funny AI image. And the model is going to be GPT-4o. I put in my time zone. I don't have a knowledge base set up yet or any of this stuff. And I'm just going to go into the prompt. Now, my favorite way to work with the prompt is to use ChatGPT AI to create an AI prompt. There's typically a tutorial, like a default prompt in here, I recommend you just copy that, paste it into ChatGPT and say, based on this AI agent prompt, isolate the fields and create blank template. And I'll paste it in. And then it'll give me something like this, which is perfect. So it goes over background information, the objection handling, script instructions. So that's typically the easiest way to do this. And then what I'll do is I'll say customize this prompt for selling AI automation services and coaching community for HVT AI. And we'll see what it comes up with. And that looks good. So it's coming up with the objections for me, which is really good. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste this into the prompt, not overcomplicate it. So I'm just going to copy all of this and go ahead and paste it in. So to edit this, I hit edit prompt, paste that in. You are Jeff, a senior sales representative at HVT AI. So now I'm just going to save this prompt. So the prompt is good to go. And there's other things we could obviously add to this, but just from a basic testing standpoint, I think this is good to go. So what I'm going to do is launch the automation. Hopefully it's saved, and go into the HTTP request. And now let's test the step, and it should be giving me a call. And I'm going to talk to it and see if it can sell me my own services. Hello, this is Jeff.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, who is this?
This is Jeff from HVTI. I specialize in AI automation services and coaching for entrepreneurs and business owners. How can I help you today?
I don't know, you called me.
Got it. I wanted to reach out because we help folks like you automate sales and save time with AI-driven systems. Are you currently using any AI tools or automation in your business?
No, not currently.
Half while increasing revenue. Would you be open to a quick chat about how AI could optimize your sales process?
I don't really have time right now.
No worries. I totally get it. How about I send you some information via email and we can connect when it's more convenient for you? What's the best email to reach you at?
Yeah, you're persistent. So, awesome. So that worked well. Now, the call lasted about 1 minute, right? And so what I want to do here is add a wait step so that it can wait a few minutes before it proceeds. But just for purposes of this, tutorial, I'll do 1 minute. And so this is going to wait, and it just waits. And the next thing I want to do is get the call transcription back. I want to know how the call went. And so I already have a request pre-built here, and I'm going to duplicate this and bring it down. And it's all pre-configured. And so again, if you jump into our premium coaching community, you can get these nodes already pre-configured and ready to go. So this is going to be another GET request instead of a POST request, and it's going to grab the call ID, and I'll show you where to grab that from. Oh, it already has the right call ID. So let's just go ahead and grab that information, test it. And here it comes back with the record of the call, and it has the full transcription. Now let's continue with our build. I want to try and summarize this without setting fields and converting it to a file, and I think I'll be able to do that and make it less complicated. So I'm going to bring down my summarization chain and link that up, and then I'm going to put in an OpenAI chat model. GPT-4o Mini is going to be the model, and I want it to summarize the call for me so I can understand what was going on in the call. And the field, let's see if it can just take the JSON code that's being pushed in. Let's test and see what it comes up with and see if I can skip some of those nodes. So here, a conversation took place between a bot and a human named Jeff, representing HVT AI. a company offering AI automation services for entrepreneurs. The bot reached out to discuss how AI could help optimize Jeff's sales process, but Jeff indicated he was not currently using any AI tools and did not have time for a detailed discussion. The bot suggested sending information via email for a future connection, to which Jeff agreed. An audio-video recording of the conversation is available via a link. From reading that kind of summarization, I can get a good feel for how the call went with my lead. And what I'm doing up here is I'm updating my database with that call transcription. But the next thing I want to do is I want to classify the call, and I want to know if the lead is qualified or not, or if it's a waste of time or not. I'm going to add a text classifier into this workflow. And the way to get that is you go to AI agents, advanced AI, and then go down to text classifier, and you can put it in manually like that. And I'm going to link these up and give it the OpenAI model, GPT-4o mini. I already have these fields set, these classification categories set. And the only thing that I need to make sure that I put in correctly is the new summarization chain. And so I'm going to put the text in here, and I want the bot to figure out if this is a qualified lead, somebody who wants to work together, an unqualified lead, someone who is not sure if they want to work together, or if there's not a clear match, an other branch. And so let's just test this and see what it comes up with for that call. It basically said they're unqualified. They didn't have time to talk. They weren't currently using tools, and they weren't able to get much information. I think that's the correct qualification of this. To get this information back into our CRM, I'm going to add in a CRM node. I'm going to add in a Notion node. You're getting a much simplified version of this workflow here, which is awesome because we get to build it real time together. But basically, he was in the unqualified branch, and so I'm going to link this up and update my database page. So the way you do this manually is you go into Notion, hit Notion, and then find Update Database. This would be your node that you click, and this one already has our Notion account credentials. So for us to put this information back, the information that we want back is whether or not the lead's qualified, and whether or not, and the summarization. And so in the CRM, we're going to add 2 more properties. So hit select property and then hit text, and name the text a summary or a call summary. For the next one, we'll just do call summary, and then the text. We'll put in the summarization text here, and that will bring in the summary. We do a multi-select, and we'll just give it an option of qualified, unqualified, or other. And we'll just call it status. Now, when we come back in and we refresh these fields with these properties, we'll see that we can select the status. And since it's coming down this route of unqualified, we're just going to preset it as unqualified. So it's not a dynamic variable. And we'll test that step and go back to our CRM, and the summary is here, and the status of unqualified appears. The next thing that you might want to put in is the actual call transcription. And so we can add another property, which would be another text field, and call it the call transcription. And that's going to be important because that's what we're going to use to extract personalization details. So when I update this, I also want to update, I'm going to hit a new property, and I want to update the actual call transcription, and then I'll pull in the actual transcription here. Another thing you could pull in is the actual URL of the call recording. So I'll add another field, and I'll just say add property, and then I'll go down to URL, and I'll just call this call URL. And we'll add those 2 things in as well. And so let me add another property, call the property call URL, and here's the recording URL. So let's just test this now and make sure that this goes through. And then here's the call transcription. Here's the URL. You can click it and have the full call details. And it is an unqualified call. So that is now your lead, Hank. And so it's easy to check out what happened with him. And if he is not a great lead, then we can just go ahead and move him over to lost or some other bucket, so we know not to mess with it. And so now you have a simple AI call automation that will make calls for you, download and summarize the calls, give you a transcription of the calls. And in the next step, we're going to extract details and personalization so that we can craft emails and SMS that are perfect for that lead. So I hope you guys enjoyed the demo. We're going to end it here. In new videos that are going to be coming out next week, I'm going to go over adding all the automations for each of our buckets in our CRM. And so the next step would be, if we have a good call that comes in and it's a qualified call and a good summary and a good transcript, then we'd move it to a new bucket. And then that bucket would take and use an information extractor to extract information from the call transcription and create personalized SMS and personalized email follow-ups. And so for our example, if Hank was qualified, then we could put him in the follow-up bucket, which would trigger a new branch in our automation, right? So we're on branch 4. If I bring in a new lead and trigger this switch node, see we have a new branch, I would then create a brand new automation where we would go down and use an information extractor that pulls in Hank's call transcription and his call summary and looks to see, what are his objections, what were his questions, what were his goals, and we'll build another automation. And you can see that we can have all of our automations bundled within this switch node for our CRM. And so that's coming next week. Make sure to like, subscribe. Hopefully you guys set up your CRM. And if you didn't and you want this to be installed in your company, just click the link below and we'll do a full custom build for your use case for your company. And if you want to join the Discord, also jump in the Discord and also download our free gift where you can get 30 days of free coaching, plus a lot of playbooks and information to help you get started with building your AI automations. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you appreciated the build. We put a lot of time and energy into this video. Put a comment down below what you'd like to see in terms of the automations. In terms of what we have coming up next is email list automations, lost lead automations. How can we revive our lost lead? Onboarding automations. What happens when we actually get a deal? So those are videos that we're going to continue to build upon, and we're going to continue to build this AI sales agent out. And so this workflow is going to get bigger and bigger. So make sure you at least get these 2 things built out if you're going to follow along with these demos, and we'll be able to add in all the automations in the coming weeks, as long as you have your Notion CRM built and your switch node triggers built in NAN. So thanks for watching. So we'll talk to you guys in the next video.